Hogwarts Legacy breaks Twitch records despite continuing to be a divisive topic this week. Nintendo Direct satisfies and underwhelms at the same time, and why Steam Next Fest is really important for indie developers. All this and more on this week's episode of Checkpoint.
And we are live. Welcome back to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show bringing you the important news and breaking down big stories in the gaming industry. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, joined today by James Walma, of course, New York James. Thank you, audio listeners. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe. It helps us out a bunch. The only other stuff going on the channel right now is we got Freeze Frame every week. We have Last of Us going right now, and Ryder's trying to plan some sort of stream. He just did a stream for Ant-Man as well. He's trying to plan some sort of surprise stream that he's going to bring. So,
okay. Do you know the surprise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's cool. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
James, we got a Nintendo Direct yesterday.
We did.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Two big hitters. The rest were not so big.
And
but
I would
we have two big ones.
I would argue one of these isn't a big hitter.
You know what? I see where you're coming from, and I might agree with you. But the first one that is definitely a big hitter is Metroid Prime Remastered. Guys, the original Metroid Prime is back on Nintendo Switch. Looks like a whole lot of work was put into making it look like it belongs on the newer hardware. It originally came out on GameCube. But the biggest improvement is the new dual stick setup.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the gameplay looks like it was left faithfully intact from the original, and you can play it today. Well, I guess you could play it yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, digital.
But that's digital. So physical version is coming February 22nd.
Yep.
The digital version is out now. How much does that bad boy run for, Vin?
$39.99.
Oh, might have to pick it up.
Yeah, it looks great. I watched some people play it yesterday, and it looks fantastic.
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, this would be something to pick up on the Switch. I've been really fighting for reasons to actually pick up my Switch. Yeah,
I will say though, bummed that it's not a trilogy.
Sure. Bummed. That's right.
Why give us there's 3 games? But do you know what? It's money. It's Moneybags Nintendo, baby.
It's Moneybags
Nintendo, because they only can charge $39.99 2 more times.
Yes.
Maybe 3 more times if it's other M is Metroid 3.
I don't know. I've never played any of them. This would be a great Metroid to start my journey on. This remaster.
Yeah, it would.
Which would be so.
I think you'd like it a lot.
I think I would too. I think I would really love it. I was watching people play yesterday, and I was like, "Yep, I think I could do this. I think I could definitely get into this."
It's really fucking cool. I love the vibe of the whole thing. Moving on to the second game, though. Right? No more thoughts on Metroid Prime? We're good?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure when we do the little wrap-up, I'll have some more stuff. But yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Next one is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The final game of the show. It was their one more thing. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom got a gameplay showcase to close out the presentation. Now, keep in mind,
it
says gameplay showcase. It's not a gameplay showcase. It's a trailer.
It was a trailer
using gameplay. Shows Hyrule in peril even by the series' usual standards, with flaming meteors crashing into the ground as enormous monsters gain a foothold on the territory. Link has access to many of his usual weapons and gear, but he can also drive a vehicle on the ground, pilot a different one. So what I think this is, I think it's like a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts style like crafting thing where you build these little like cars, and I think you're gonna use your Sheikah Slate to build these vehicles, and then you like pilot them.
Okay.
There's rail grinding. There's like this cool hammer that also like is like a slingshot. It shoots projectiles.
Yeah.
But so game also got a release date for May 12th. Unless it was slated for May 12th beforehand.
Yeah. People were worried that it might get a delay, but looks like it's solid.
So they're sticking with the May 12th.
Yep.
And then The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will also get a collector's edition packed full of extra goodies. Do we have an idea of what those extra goodies are?
Steelbook, map, sticker, pin.
Amiibo?
Yes, Amiibo. And so also launch at Nintendo's new premium price of $70 instead of $60. And that
Which I think is fine. I've seen a lot of uproar about that on.
Me too.
It's like, oh, now we're gonna buy a Switch game for $70. Like, get the fuck over yourself.
Yeah,
Yes, you will.
you're gonna do it.
You're gonna buy this goddamn game.
It's gonna score 9s and 10s or some crazy. You know what I mean?
What are you gonna do? Not buy it?
Yeah,
that is what you would do, but you're not gonna do that.
And
don't talk shit if you're gonna buy it anyway.
There's Nintendo game vouchers now, which you should get
what
on.
Do you mean?
Nintendo has a game voucher it's $100, $99, and it gets you access to 2 premium games if you're choosing. So if you go out for $100, you could get access to 2 $70 games. Purchase 2 $70 games on your account.
This a Nintendo RAN?
Yes. Nintendo
what the
voucher, game voucher. So if you want 2 $60 games, you could buy a voucher for $100 and then get $20 off the whole thing. It's the only way to do it.
This is insane.
Exactly. Now it wouldn't work.
How do they make money with this?
I wouldn't buy the voucher. Well, because they're banking on you only buying one game and not buying the second one. So when you buy a voucher, it's like, I'm going to buy 2 games. Like, you're going to get an extra $40 out of me, sort of deal.
You know what I'm going to buy with this? I'm going to buy Bayonetta 3 and this. Or I'm going to buy Pokemon.
I know, I want freaking Pokemon.
Scarlet or Violet. Or I'm going to buy Xenoblade.
It's a lot of good options.
Fuck, dude. But anyway, let's move on.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to move on. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. I don't want to move on. I'm still hot.
Tears of the Kingdom, James. I watched this trailer.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
If you would have showed me this trailer 3 years ago, right?
You say, oh, this is Breath of the Wild.
This is Breath of the Wild. Like, there's not a single. The difference would be whatever the sky thing is for me. That looks visually different to me. And then we have the vehicles, which look visually different, and we have a couple new, I don't know what to call them, not powers, but there's magnesis in the first game. Abilities, sure, which is cool. Something looks off to me. I don't know what it is. Like, I get a feeling. Like, I watch it and I'm like, something's missing. Something's not here. Something's like. Something feels.
It just feels like a sequel, more like a sequel than an actual. I don't know, next installment. Because I feel like a lot of Zelda games are different with each iteration in big ways.
Yeah.
You know what? It might be a good comparison. It might be like so there's Ocarina of Time, right? And 64 Classic, and then there's Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Which is like, I feel like builds off a lot of the same systems, similar gameplay style.
Yeah.
But just very different story direction, different gameplay elements. But even then, like, the masks were such a big gameplay shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like this is using the same systems. Like, I feel like it's the same game with, it feels like a DLC.
It does. It feels
but
like.
Keep in mind, this is all pre-release speculation. It looks like DLC.
We don't know.
It looks like a really big DLC.
James, here's what I want so badly. I want them to throw us for a loop. I'm talking marketing is all link, and then boom, you get to play as Zelda in this game, or like something crazy. Because right now, this looks like a DLC.
Ganon. Halfway through the game, you switch to Ganon.
That's what I want. I want something that's going to be like so different, because I like Breath of the Wild. I'm of the camp that Breath of the Wild is not a perfect game though, which is like, I know it's one of your favorite games. There's things that give me the ick in the game.
What gives you the ick about Breath of the Wild? The weapon degradation? If you say that, I'm going to fucking punch you in the throat.
No, I think I can get over the weapon degradation. Okay. There's pieces of it that people hold so highly that I have not been able to like understand. Like some of the quests and stuff, like some of the side quests and all this that people like really like. People really like Zelda Breath of the Wild's open world. And I think it's the same problems I have with that I have in Elden Ring. There's a couple things on the map that is like the point of interest, and then there's a ton of things on the map that are not. And it doesn't necessarily like it doesn't ask me to go to those places in a bad way. Like, I don't feel like it's not telling me, I don't feel like it's worth it to go anywhere. Like, why would I go see this? Why would I go do this? Like, what am I going to get rewarded with? Maybe some rupees, maybe a weapon that's going to break in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, which is fine. Not there's like little pieces like that don't make it add up to like, this is a perfect game. It's a damn good game. to me. It's a very good game, but it doesn't reach that like perfection standpoint. But I get why people have great arguments why it does, and I don't quarrel with that. I understand.
And this is a topic for another show.
Absolutely. Anyways, I think Tears of the Kingdom looks too similar to Breath of the Wild for me to be like counting down the days.
Me too. I'm with you on that.
Now, I'll eat my words when it gets 9s and 10s, and I'm really excited to pick it up, and I buy it day one. Like, it's fine. It's whatever. I'm not expecting it to be bad by any means. I just haven't seen a huge difference that I want yet.
Yeah.
Another thing is my cousin sent me a video of one of my younger cousins. He's 9 years old, watching the trailer for this and like losing his mind. Knew like every single animal or like enemy type, what was different about each enemy type.
The moblins.
Everything, dude.
The bokoblins, yeah.
And it was just like, it was very cute. And I was like, damn, this game's going to sell Mongo crazy banana bucks, you know?
Boku bucks.
Boku bucks. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to sell like crazy. It might
it's a Zelda game.
It might give this next game a run for its money in terms of sales, James.
Whoa, what a transition.
And let me tell you, this controversial Hogwarts Legacy shatters Twitch viewership record, okay? And I put together this little wrap up. These are points from all over the internet. This isn't coming from a source. This is just coming from different pieces of the internet. First off, we have reviews. James, how are some of the reviews looking for Hogwarts Legacy?
They're high, baby. High as hell. We got Game Rant with a 9, Press Start with a 9, IGN with a 9, Dexter Toe at an 8, Push Square at an 8, Video Games Chronicle at an 8, Games Radar at a 3.5 out of 5. Metacritic is sitting at an 86, and OpenCritic is also sitting at an 86.
And this is as of yesterday for people that have bought the deluxe version, because the deluxe version gives you a week early access. The full game you get access tonight at 9 p.m. So you get it a couple days early.
How do you feel about that model, Vincent?
You
pay more, play it earlier.
If you want to pay for the $20, great for it. Go for it. I mean, Need for Speed did the same thing. It's just it's trying to give more value for...
I think it works. Low key. I think it really preys upon the people who...
The FOMO. It preys on FOMO.
It's the FOMO. It preys on FOMO, but they don't it's just playing the game. You don't get anything substantially...
You're going to get some cosmetics with that deluxe edition. You're going to get whatever it is.
Sure. But it doesn't feel like manipulative. It's really leaving the consumer with the choice of like, hey, if you want it, it's there. If you want to, especially if they bring out like a day one patch for the, for the regular release, like, and you want to play it in a little bit more of a buggy state.
Sure.
It's up to you, man. Go ahead. Go crazy.
Battlefield did the same thing. I remember people dropping $80, $90 on that game before it came out, only to put 5 hours into it, you know?
Imagine that.
So even though people online are saying that this is a big thing. I was reading this word for word. I didn't need to do that. There has been a lot of outcry that because people in their reviews of Hogwarts Legacy are pointing out things that would usually tank a score. People are calling out these review sites being like, you were paid for this score. You must have been paid to give this review. And to me, it's a tale as old as time, baby. You don't agree with the review scale and you call out these people for getting paid. There's no real evidence.
Said you must have gotten paid.
Yeah.
They say you can't have enjoyed that game as much as you said you did.
And here's the deal. The truth comes down to like, these outlets are usually going to give the review to someone that might enjoy the IP already or like is knowledgeable about the IP. I wouldn't want a Harry Potter fan reviewing the next Demon Slayer game the same way I wouldn't want a Demon Slayer fan like rating the next Harry Potter game. It's just random like IPs.
And you would want a Harry Potter fan to review a Harry Potter game.
Totally.
Because that is the audience for a Harry Potter game.
That's the audience. Exactly. So it's hard for me to this one drummed up a little extra, I would say, because of the controversy around it. And there's just there's a lot of eyes on this game right now, whereas other titles don't have as many eyes, right? Yeah. So this is pretty cool though, to me, is that GameSpot created articles that plastered over their front page about ways to support trans people at the same time everyone else's reviews went live, so that when people went to their website to check the review, it wasn't there yet. It was like, boom, like right there. I thought that was
cool.
super interesting. And then they posted their review later in the day. They never claimed to not do a review. It's not like they were flip-flopping on that. It's just like that was their statement, I guess. That was, here you can see this. And also, it broke all viewership records on Twitch, garnering a peak viewership of 1.25 million concurrent viewers, which beat Elden Ring's peak concurrent of 907,000 viewers, which is wild. And those
I think like that viewership comes from, because Hogwarts Legacy, it does have a lot of eyes on it. It's in a very interesting place of everyone's skeptical.
Yeah.
Not everyone. A lot of people are skeptical on what this game deserves. And so people, I think that viewership is people who are on the fence or speculative about like, okay, does it deserve these scores? Let's see this game being played, because I don't want to pay the set $60, $70 to play it myself. I want to see someone else play who's already paid that money or been given a code and see for myself if I would enjoy this game.
It is funny that none of the discussion around this is whether the game is like good or not. It is whether or not you are.
No, I disagree. I've seen a lot of discourse on the game systems, specifically bringing up things from the IGN review, saying that like it only has like 4 inventory slots. There's only 2 types of enemies in the game. And there was a couple other things, but like, and then saying, oh, but it makes you feel like, but the world building is great, so it's gives you a 9 out of 10. And so for me, the thing that's interesting about this is the role of nostalgia in this game, and really being able to capitalize on making you feel a certain way, like reminiscing over these, like is rightfully so. Like I'm not docking this game for nailing nostalgia, because when you really nail nostalgia, that's like Disneyland as a whole. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I think like kudos to them for being able to replicate that feeling and being able to see, like, to put people in a position of like, oh, you feel like a wizard, even though I've seen so many like Twitter videos of saying like, oh, like this is how magic works and like Harry Potter, and people will bring up like Forspoken, and people will bring up like Dragon Age, Inquisition, and all these other games with like magic systems to talk about how Harry Potter's magic system like is not nearly as robust or like cool enough. You know what I mean? But it's not, I don't think it's about that for a lot of people. Like, even though a lot of reviews say it feels good, but
yeah, I was watching, shout out Cheesy. I was watching Cheesy play the intro last night. He was streaming it on Twitch, and he was just going through the prologue or whatever, and it had the create a character, which is, I think the create a character looks great, by the way.
Especially because there's so many options for, I've been seeing it has a lot of like black hairstyles.
Yeah.
And Afro-American hairstyles that like a lot of other games do not hit. I remember when the Demon Souls character creator came out, it did not have a lot of Afrocentric styles in it, specifically for the hair. But it's cool to see that they have a lot of them for this, and they look great.
Yeah, so that was cool to see. And then in the prologue, it's like the first time you, I don't know, you fly your broomstick to this like little island or whatever. And the scope was like awesome. Like you were on these cliffs or whatever, and there's crazy crashing waves underneath, and it was very immersive. And I was just watching, I wasn't even playing. I was like, that's pretty crazy. So there's a lot of, you could see the quality that goes into this from a developer that their previous game was the Cars 3 tie-in game, which is just pretty crazy to think about, like this studio.
That is really insane.
Yeah, but again, I think on the discourse standpoint, there's just a lot of people that want to make other people think what they think is true and right. And this is such a tough standpoint, because I really truly don't believe that playing the game means you support hating a certain group. And it sucks that that is the conversation that is kind of happening right now. And I totally understand. I think like from me not being really a Harry Potter fan and like not super excited for the game, I might just pass on this one, But I understand people that have been waiting for this for a long time that are paying for it, but not agreeing with, not agreeing with J.K. Rowling's stance on this, because J.K. Rowling sucks. That's just it.
J.K. Rowling does suck.
And people have better arguments about this too, about just ways they're looking at this situation. But everybody's gonna have
your money is going to the money is going to developer,
Yeah.
but because it's a Harry Potter IP, J.K. Rowling does benefit from that and does get cents off the dollar.
Do you know what I also saw? A couple devs tweeting this, because I was wrong. I was so wrong when I said this. A couple devs said that game sales do help the developers because they have not bonuses, but they have like money packages depending on sales that the game hits that directly goes to developers, which is super interesting. I assume that developers were just going to get paid for their time more so. And it's like, okay, we're working on the next game. So that's pretty wild that game sales do actually help the devs. Because imagine it would absolutely suck to be a dev on this game and have people boycott it for things that you don't believe. Just because of an executive chose the next IP that you were working on.
And I think I think the game, from what I understand about it, has done a fairly good job. Like, I'm saying this as a cis white straight dude.
Yeah.
Good job of incorporate. Like, there's a trans character, which I don't mean to say in a tokenistic way, but they took the time to write that character, and to develop that character as someone you interact with. And I think that's something.
Yeah, that is something.
Not saying it's, not saying to applaud the bare minimum, but
right, absolutely. It's at least not thought about, but the people that make this game, absolutely,
they know.
It's not like they don't
they know.
know. Yeah. So it is cool to see that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to tell you to play it or don't play it. Make your own decision on all that. It's just
make your own decision.
I just really don't like to see bullying back and forth of you're this, and this for playing the game, or you're not buying it, you're this, that is so annoying to me.
The assumptions being made, yeah.
Make your own decision, be happy with it, and go on with your life, because this is going to not blow over, but it will. It won't be in conversation in the next week or so. 2 weeks.
Right.
Unless it will. I don't know. It's interesting. But I just thought it was super crazy that it broke the viewership, the Twitch viewership.
Yeah. Really cool.
That's giant. All right. Going on to the clip, baby. Ready for this?
The week.
I got to make sure I have this is working. Good. And let's get it. Steam Next Fest is super, super important to indie developers, and here is why. Steam Next Fest returns February 6th through February 13th, 2023. It's happening right now, and it's a multi-day celebration where fans can try out demos, chat with developers, watch live streams, and learn about upcoming games on Steam.
So this comes from Andy Chalk, a PC gamer. You have exactly 1 week to power through nearly 900 demos from nearly every genre you can imagine. To keep the math simple, we'll round it up to 900 demos. That means you're going to have to punch out 129 demos every day over the course of the Steam Next Fest if you want to see them all. That works out to about 5.5 demos per hour, which gives you a total of 12 minutes to dedicate to each, assuming you don't want to waste any of your valuable time on frivolities like eating, sleeping, or hitting the head.
Going to sleep.
Using the bathroom.
Oh, or that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, oh yeah, hitting the hay is going to sleep.
You're thinking of hitting the hay.
Yeah.
But the head is the bathroom.
Got it.
So that's what the Steam Next Fest is really all about. Hitting the head. Yep. Discovering things you weren't previously aware of. If idle browsing is more your thing, there's plenty of scope for that too, including options for poking through the most wishlisted games or demos with the most active players. You can also sort them all by genre, players, perspective, themes and moods, and a whole bunch of other filters. This seems really fucking cool, Vincent. This is exactly up my alley.
James, this has been happening for years, and I feel like we sleep on it.
I had no idea. Yeah.
We sleep on it. So I'm looking around here, and there's a couple games on Twitter that I see pop up every once in a while that there's a few developers that are networked with other developers. So you follow one and you start getting recommended tweets by another, and it's like, oh, I followed this game for a really cool art style, and damn, this other one that they're commenting on looks even cooler. I don't really know what's going on here, what the game is, but it's worth looking at. And it is this is the time that all of those games that you see little screenshots of, or tiny little GIFs or videos of, full demos, boom, out right now. There's tons of games to highlight here. If you go on the Steam Next Fest page, it recommends demos based on games that you've played before, which is really cool. But then you can search by genre and all that kind of stuff. And so we'll get to a couple games here in a second, but there's a reason, James, why Steam Next Fest is so important. And it's not just so that people can play the games. It's so that these indie developers can drum up numbers for their games, their numbers of people wishlisting their games, people playing their games, and this can secure them more funding for publishing, advertising, whatever it's going to be. Because, I mean, as you can see, there are 900 demos in this week of play, right? That only accounts for a small percentage of all indie games being created right now. You know, like this isn't every single game ever. There's so much competition in that space, and some of these will release and not see the
light of day.
The light of day. Well, they'll see the light of day, but they won't get the eyes that they deserve on them. So this is a fantastic way to jump in. If you are a fan of games and a fan of gaming in general, it is incredible to be wishlisting these games. It is a free way to help out these developers make something.
Literally, no money.
No money.
No money required.
Yeah, if you don't have time to play the game, wishlist the game. Straight up.
Yeah. Right.
I was kind of
that also helps. Like that shows interest in.
It does. They're able to bring those numbers places. It's pretty crazy. So I played 3 games last night.
Cool.
Planet of Lana being one of them. Highly recommend. It's a puzzle game.
Looks great.
It's gorgeous. It's featured on the thumbnail here. A young girl and her loyal friend embark on a rescue mission through a colorful world of cold machines and unfamiliar creatures. Planet of Lana is a cinematic puzzle adventure framed by an epic sci-fi saga. It's really, really cool. That was about an hour demo. I also played a game called Dad by the Sword, which is a first-person sword-fighting roguelike game with a heavy focus on tactical dismemberment, player creativity, giant spraying fountains of purple blood, and dad jokes. Play as your dad in his quest to fight evil hot dogs wizard, things hatched from eggs, and other anti-dads. And it was hilarious, James. The roguelike included going into rooms where you can pick your next weapon, which was a sub sandwich or a grill spatula. Like, that's
so fun.
It was very fun. It was super creative, and the combat was very it had a lot of depths to it. It was like For Honor's combat system where you
this looks so fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was absolutely incredible. And then I played another one that I didn't like as much, but that's okay. You can skip over that one. And there's a lot more to highlight. I brought this one for you, James, just for you. This speaks to you. I read it and I was like, I've never heard of a more James game in my life. And that is...
I know it says it right here, but I want you to pitch it to me.
That it's not Sons of Valhalla, James. It's not Sons of Valhalla. It is Phantom
No, I know. It said
Brigade. Phantom Brigade.
Okay.
Which is a turn-based, real-time tactical role-playing game with a squad of mech pilots. Okay? And the developer is said to focus on customization and player-driven stories, where the goal is to lead the outgunned squad in an attempt to reclaim their home. It's high-level strategy that plays out in cinematic scenes, making it a totally unique spin on the genre. And you can download this demo right now, and I want to hear your thoughts on it eventually, if you ever choose to
installing it
check
right
it out.
now.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks really, really cool.
I'm also going to highlight another one that I see here that I haven't played yet, but looks totally up my alley.
Yeah.
Is My Dream Setup. It looks like just one of those cozy games.
Totally.
Where you're just like, this is the game I've been wanting for so long as someone who's like into interior design and always like changing around my room like every couple weeks and deciding, would the bed look better here? Would the bed look better there? Should I put my desk in this corner, that corner?
Yeah.
This is exactly the simulator for that.
Right.
It's literally just a room with furniture, options,
and you go to town.
And you just go to fucking town.
I saw you're able to change like the day-night cycle to like perfectly have sun come through your window to like hit things and just make a nice picture out of it. It's pretty cool.
It looks so cool.
A couple more to highlight real quick is Mika in Witch's Mountain, which is a fantasy adventure about an aspiring witch who delivers packages to the townspeople of a small island, and it looks extremely Studio Ghibli. Like, it's super Ghibli. It looks so
like
cute.
Kiki's.
It totally does. And then Boundary, which is a multiplayer tactical-based shooter, which is, we've seen before, it's all zero gravity. Like, you're in space, but it's an FPS sort of thing, and it looks really impressive. Really impressive.
Okay.
And finally, one more, Sons of Valhalla, a combat and base building game set in the Viking Age. Build fortresses and lay siege to enemy strongholds, gather warriors, board longboats, and engage in personal combat as you raid and conquer across England. This is a very pixel side-scroller thing, but it's like, of course, I feel like this is a new wave to have like full reflections and everything on your pixel style game that looks so nice. It looks so nice. I have that downloaded, but I haven't been able to give that a shot yet. So, and that's just a taste. That is just a taste. There's so many more. There's literally hundreds in just in the beginning. Your first couple scrolls, there will be hundreds of games on the first page that are recommended just for you, which is super, super cool. So this is just to say, go check that out. It's there. And if you like games and you like trying out new stuff, you should give these a shot and wishlist some games. Let's get some.
I want a service that's this every month.
They hand deliver.
Give me a new rotation. Demos. Yeah, just hand deliver me like demos based on shit that I like.
Yeah.
And give that to me for a month. And then at the end of the month, if I liked any of them, give me a discount on their full price.
That'd be pretty cool. Well, I guess that is also early access games on Steam where you buy it for cheaper. Like I did that for Valheim where that was technically released early access and you could buy it for like $10 versus when it fully released it was going to be $20. So, but they didn't promise that the game was going to be perfect. It might be a little buggy or whatever, but it was great. That was awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please go check out some Steam Next Fest games. Let us know what you're playing and your favorite ones in the comments. I would love to check out more of these. I've only checked out 3 so far, so please throw us some recommendations. I'm kind of into anything. If you want to watch this entire podcast, you can go to podcast services, type in Strictly Casual Checkpoint. It's a little blue box that says Checkpoint. This is episode 148. 2 weeks from 150. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Nice.
So sick.
I do really recommend Planet of Lana, though. That was about a 45-minute demo, and it was so nice.
I already got these demos downloaded.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
A lot of them, dude. Yeah. I downloaded Dad by the Sword, Meekin Witch's Mountain, My Dream Setup, and Phantom Brigade.
I love it. And they're only like a couple gigs each, which is beautiful. You can just kind of go for it.
No, not a lot of opportunity cost.
Yeah. James, what have you been playing this week?
Honestly, just Apex. I think I jumped into Monster Hunter briefly, but it came up in conversation this week. Also, my homies were talking about buying Sea of Thieves, and because it's on sale right now on Steam.
Yeah.
And still trying to figure out whether I want to commit to that or not.
Have you played it?
Sounds like a lot. I played it like really, really briefly earlier, and it just didn't do it for me. But I feel like it'd be different with homies.
Oh yeah,
it'd be way different with homies.
It's a lot of fun with friends. There's one thing that I don't love about Sea of Thieves, and I feel like it's just endless. Let's go to this place, dig up some treasure, and bring it back to the home base. But like, what do you do with the money?
Right.
Upgrade your ship to do the same thing, which I guess is any game. But for some reason, it feels like I don't know the incentive besides having a good time with your friends, because you can absolutely jump in, just have a good time, and not care about whatever you're getting. I also haven't played in like a year, so. But I really liked it when I did play. And Apex, how's the
aside
season?
from that, like I've done, season's good, dude. I don't love the maps right now.
Okay.
But it's fine.
Yeah,
it's really fine. Like I mean, it's fine. It's good. Like Apex is a good battle royale shooter.
Yeah,
just hasn't been. I have an itch right now that I don't know what it is. I don't know what my itch is.
It's these indie demos, bro. I'm telling you right now. Forget these AAA games.
Dude, I think it's gonna be My Dream Setup that breaks me out of it. To be honest,
it really took death. It took death's door for me to like as a good reset of like, oh yeah, I do like playing games. Games are good. Games are good.
Yeah. Cool.
Speaking of games that are not good, I've been playing Destiny all week. Just kidding. Destiny's great. I did the seasonal quest line, which was 50 something steps, and it was great. I really enjoyed that, and I'm getting excited for Lightfall coming. I'm going to drop another ridiculous amount of money on another Destiny expansion. And I don't care. It's going to be great.
I don't fucking care.
And then Ollie Ollie World, I hopped into this week as well.
Dude, I've jumped into that too. Super fun.
It's awesome. I love it.
It's so good. The character customization is great.
Yeah.
So many fun things. Yeah.
I'm getting held up on trying to do all the challenges on each level.
Yeah.
I need to stop that. I need to just play through.
I'm the same way.
Like
I'm the exact same.
Spent way too long trying to figure out how to like miss these seagulls, you know, to try. I'm like, no, I just kind of want to play it for now. I'm not going for the platinum. Like, why am I like doing this? So I'm excited to keep doing that. And then, yeah, just some Steam Next Fest games. And I think I talked about Battlefield's class system last week, that it was launching.
Yes.
It has launched. I don't remember if we talked about that at all, but it's good.
We at least talked about it coming out soon. So,
well, at the very least, the class system's good. It's great even. But the game suffers from a lack of new content that is going to be the surge to get players in. And I think at this rate, it will never get that. So it will never have that big surge of players in. Even though when they dropped a new map last season, it was a huge jump in player count because the map was great, unlike the maps that they launched the game with. So I don't know. If they can pull out a major update with like 3 maps, new guns, and then already having the class system in, I really think that it could do better than it's doing now. But I'm not holding my hope for that or anything. But it's a fun game, and if you could pick it up for $5, $10, $15, it's a good time.
That's the goal.
That's it.
That's the goal.
Yeah, it's a great time. That's all I've been playing.
Sweet.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 141 of episode 148 of the Strictly Casual Podcast Checkpoint, baby.
There it is.
We will see you next week for episode 149. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Love y'all. Bye-bye.